talking for the last couple of weeks about imposter syndrome. It's been really interesting, hasn't it?
It is. We've had a lot of people communicating that they enjoy this subject matter. It is one of those things those mystery things that psychology actually taps into, isn't it?
Yeah, and you said off air after we finished our chat last week, it's an umbrella sort of topic. It covers a few different parts of imposter syndrome.
That's right. I think it is nice to give it a name to everything, but sometimes there's just little characteristics that people have that they aren't necessarily imposters, but they do share some of those characteristics or guidelines, if you like, in psychology that we use in order to diagnose someone with something. But we also have to make sure that we look at the intensity and the frequency of those symptoms. So with imposter syndrome, it's almost like a way of life. Someone decides that they're going to do something. They don't know how to do it, but they kind of like wing it for a bit. And some people just fall into that. They don't want to do it, but suddenly other people have expectations from them, so they just continue doing it, and so they're feeling, and it's working for them, so they continue.
And then there's the others that are really high achievers, always achieving great things, and they feel like they're a failure. They feel like they're being an imposter by achieving these things. They don't think they're good enough, or they don't think, it's part of them. So that's right. Another part of it, isn't it?
It is. And when we do a lot of work in psychological therapy and in clinical sessions, and especially when we're assessing, it's very important to differentiate those things, because there's quite different people.
Yes.
Those two, isn't it?
Yes.
And I feel that with that last group that you mentioned, high achieving, but feel like they're still an imposter.
They're fraud. They feel like they're pretending, they're faking it. They feel like they're not worthy of it.
Yeah, it's two things. One is self-esteem, of course, that they feel that despite all their achievements, they're still not happy, or they don't still feel that they've achieved what they should have achieved, or maybe there are people that are better than them, and eventually they're going to get caught out and so forth,
It's about self-esteem as well, isn't it?
Purely about self-esteem in that sense
as well.
And in addition, I find, that's why I think it's very important, and I know I've said this a few times in our show, try to teach kids to be humble.
Yes.
To have humility, because that helps once we grow and we start achieving things. And because after a while you say, you know what, I am happy with what I've done, and I pat myself on the back.
And I am good enough.
Despite everything else, despite all the odds sometimes, I've achieved, but that takes humility to appreciate what we already have, whether it's something in that we've achieved, or whether it's something material that we've earned, or whatever that may be.
Right.
So a combination of humility and self-esteem is very important.
That's true, Carlos. And knowing that you're worthy when you do achieve it. You are worthy of achieving that.
That's right, yeah. And achievement also, it's a bit of, we have to be able to break it down, a bit like Marcus Aurelius said, the great philosopher emperor 2,000 years ago, break little things in chunks, because what happens is that when we achieve something, we're achieving on the way as well.
Smelling the roses.
It's like winning the grand final, but to get to the grand final, you've got to win games.
Yes.
So you concentrate on this weekend's game, and then the next one, and so forth. So you have to give yourself a bit of a pat on the back for those little wins.
After each game.
That's right. Or else you're constantly focusing on the final goal, and you're missing out on all those little achievements. So break it up into chunks. Say, great, I've done good. And then start the next little chunk.
True, and even at training, if you've trained well, even that part.
That's right.
That's part of it, isn't
you're trying to lose weight, for example, you've trained hard, you might weigh yourself and you're the same, doesn't matter. You've trained, you've started, pat yourself on the back, continue breaking it up into those little pieces that you can measure, and eventually the results will come.
That's right.
100%.
Yeah. Well, you're a high achiever, may I say that?
Well,
you've done quite some things, haven't you?
I see myself punching above my weight.
That's called imposter syndrome.
Well, look, I've done well.
Doing it.
I've done well in my life despite the odds.
Yeah.
I think I was the first person from either side of my family, from my mum's and dad's, to go to university. So I history would have kind of like taken me into probably something else. But yes, I always, once I decided to study something, I did really get stuck into it. And I don't know whether I have a lot of virtues, but one of them is that I'm very disciplined. So I managed to do that. But, look, I feel that I'm where I should be. I'm very happy. Yeah. And so, sure, there's little things that we still want to do, in life. That's wonderful to have those goals. But we really have to stop to smell the roses, as they say, or else we're never happy. We're always aiming for things that may or may not come.
Yeah. And setting goals, you set goals and then you go ahead and achieve them, don't you? With your book writing, and even though you're so busy.
Look, with the writing, it's a hobby that I've taken up, and I really enjoy it. So I like also keeping current, being on the edge, if you like, of the latest research in psychology and philosophy. And so when I write about it, it helps me make sense of it. So then I publish it as a book, and it's nice when you get feedback that it's helped at least one person. It's really nice.
That's right. So the high achievers, they set goals, they keep going, they smell the roses along the way until they get to their... But they never get to the end because they still keep achieving.
You still keep achieving.
For the fun of it as well.
Yeah, every day's a new day, as they say. And so you might... And sometimes it doesn't need to be something big. It might just be, today I really want to take time and have a walk on the beach.
And go in nature on the beach.
Why not?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be measured either by money or by something material. It can be those little things. And look, it's important to challenge ourselves. But more importantly, I always say is to pat yourself on the back and thank and appreciate what you have already achieved, or else it's never ending and we just spend our lives trying to get to somewhere, and once we get there, we want to be somewhere else. Yeah. And so take your time and pat yourself on the... I always say pat yourself on the back, literally. Just look in the mirror and go...
Yes.
Pat. Good on you, mate.
Yes. Good on you, Carlos. And you've written a new book.
Yeah,
What's
just
it
released
about?
This week.
Okay.
This is a philosophy book, purely a philosophy book. I did write a philosophical novel a while ago. I remember Peeling a Seedless Moon, and that was a lot of fun. But this is a theory on philosophy. It's a bit, basically, when I did my honours in philosophy many years ago, I was always interested in overcoming mortality. And what happens, people have religion, people have certain philosophies of theory. How do we overcome knowing that one day we're gone? So this is a bit of a book on modern thought, and
love it,
and a bit of a mixture of what some writers say and what others have recommended. So it's a really nice topic in the sense of it's about hope, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's about hope for the future, and despite us not being here, what we leave behind.
That's true. Well, how great is that? It's called Nothing Matters: Overcoming Mortality, and what's that? NIHIL.
That's nihilism.
Nihilism.
It's a philosophical term when nothing exists, no virtues, no value systems, and so some philosophers worry that with the decline of many religions and many philosophies in some areas, that we will reach it. But I don't think so. I think we can overcome it all because we're here to help each other.
That's right. Where do you get the book from?
Well, you can get it online anywhere? On the big apps, but you can also get it from next week in some of the bigger bookstores.
Okay, great, Carlos. We have one book. Carlos is giving away one book. First caller 43220072 will actually get this book that's released this week. Nothing Matters. Carlos Camacho, psychologist and philosopher. See you next week, Carlos.
For sure.
You've chosen a really good song here. I love this one by Steve Winwood.
Oh, what a voice.
Oh.
Incredible voice. Actually, someone said once that it's probably the best white voice in rock music.
Beautiful. Higher love. See you, Carlos.
Thank you.